Lining the backcourt, Jeremy Lin along with James Harden. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Asik in at the 4. And looking at the Jazz, pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And in the middle, standing 6'11", 270, the talented scorer and rebounder out of Turkey, the big man, Enes Kanter. And it's Hayward, and it's Favors in at the 4 slot.
While never a lock for the playoffs, the Jazz were in the driver's seat for a playoff spot up until the All-Star break last season. However, after the second half kicked up again, they just couldn't beat the teams they needed to and lost a lot of ground, letting the Lakers back in the hunt.
Here is Lin after Enes Kanter's basket. Good.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Now we're going to get a chance to check in with Doris Burke, who had a talk moments ago with head coach Ty Corbin. Doris?
He said he certainly followed the rise of Jeremy Lin into a prime-time point guard in this league. And he told me, we need to try to limit his penetration. That's where he's most effective, slashing and with the drive and kick. Guys, Lin has certainly been working to improve his outside shot. But sometimes you have to pick your poison, and they'll live with him shooting from outside. Back to you.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Here's Kanter after the made shot from Hayward. And Favors kicks to Burks. Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. And there's Enes Kanter on the assist from Favors. Of course, the Lakers would eventually pass them up during the final days to snag a playoff spot. But, Steve, as you said, it was just a poor run of games for the Jazz right after the All-Star break that did them in.
Well, it would have been nice for this young core to gain some valuable playoff experience. But they did pick up a couple of first-round draft picks. They continue to add talent to this deep roster. And I would think it's just a matter of time before they're back in the playoffs again.
Some hang time on that rim. Puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert for Clark.
Here's Asik, and the layup's good off the glass.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
For Utah, they've gone 4-4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Here's Favors. Soft touch off the glass. Favors got his first bucket in this one.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Now here's Lin. Tries again. He lays it in. Asik's got his 3rd basket of the night.
You see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket.
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Kept alive. The shot's good from Kanter.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And he really is a tough guy to go up against because he throws his weight around so often and with reckless abandon. I mean, it can really wear you down physically.
Hits the bucket.
Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. You can get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane.
Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
They swipe it. Burks the pass to Burke, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Jazz.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
A nice shot by Lin.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
There's 1:54 left to play in the first. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. And it's blocked by Burke. Now here's Lin. He's covered closely, but they recover it. Doubled by Hayward. Shot clock at 6. Lin dishes to Asik. Second shot opportunity. Howard can't hit.
had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Dwight Howard is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and, you know, when he's healthy, he can really anchor a defense inside with his rebounding and shot blocking. A real force in the paint.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz. And Clark. For Howard. You said when he's right, but the last few seasons, Steve, I think that's become an issue. Injuries have been a problem.
For sure, his production has waned. He had the disc issue in his back that numbed out one of his legs last year, had to have back surgery. So, you know, you think about everything else, the torn labrum in his shoulder. He's taken a pounding over the years. Not a good foul shooter, so people really hit him hard and force him to the line. You wonder if maybe that has something to do with the injuries.
Here's Beverly, following the basket by Andris Biedrins. Biedrins with the steal. Fast break, here come the Jazz. Lucas has got the ball, and that one's good.
Heads-up play on both ends there. Transition basketball, the steal and the quick push.
Steve, that's how it should be played. I mean, rapid-fire basketball.
Now, here is Harden. Poked loose. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Evans kicks to Rush. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Now the dish to Beverly. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Moniunas' shot is good.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Williams kicks to Biedrins. And there's a nice one-handed slam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Jazz lead by 5. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment.
Houston might have made the playoffs in the West last season, guys, but it wasn't because they were beating up on their peers. They were 24-28 against the rest of the West. That's why they got the 8th seed.
Lucas makes it off the glass. Lucas has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for Utah.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
Harden with it. Now defended by Lucas. Here's Moniunas. Offensive rebound. The shot's good from Smith.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Now here's Biedrins. Smith with the defensive effort. You remember the Rockets last year when they were playing a lot of teams in the West near the end of the regular season. That was when they slipped, you know, Steve, out of the 6th seed range down to number 8.
Well, of course, the West was really strong last year, Kevin, so it makes sense that you're going to struggle a little bit against all those good teams. But, you know, Houston ended up being the only team in the West to make the playoffs with a sub-500 record against the rest of the conference.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, James Harden led the NBA last season, averaging over 8.5 made free throws per game. He's one of the masters at drawing contact and said, quote, "It gives me confidence to get some easy free throws and open up my entire game. I just try to be aggressive and get to the basket. It opens up my jump shot and opens up my teammates with defenders helping off." Guys, the Rockets more than happy running their offense through James.
Well, it certainly seems like a smart move for him. Thanks, Doris. Rejected by Evans. Here's Rush. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. And the Jazz lead by 6. And Houston calls their first timeout of the game. And the Rockets making a change here. Howard's checked in. And so it's Houston with it. Outside, Lynn, Asik. And it's blocked by Beatrice. And stolen by Howard. Here's Asik. Lays it up and banks it in. Asik's got 8 points.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play.
The pass to Evans. And stolen by Parsons. Parsons on the wing. The shot is off. And it's Utah the other way.
Well, you could, in some ways, call Chandler Parsons' first season a mild surprise, but he really accelerated things in his second season. He improved in all parts of the game and really showed he could be a top option for a team offensively. He's got such versatility, and his shooting range is unlimited.
Now here's Lucas, and Beatrice kicks to Evans. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Evans has got his first points in this one. Here's Lynn. Here's Howard. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
Lucas, that's good. Lucas has got his second basket of the night. Well, for Chandler Parsons last season, Steve, top 20 in minutes played, and he was more effective in his minutes. He really utilized every one of them well.
Yeah, he improved his shooting in every dimension, Kevin, from the field, from the outside, and especially from the foul line. Upped his scoring rate dramatically, really has made strides across the board.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Utah calls timeout.
You know, the Rockets did a lot to make over their backcourt last season as they brought in 2 big names in Jeremy Lin and James Harden, and that's not always an easy adjustment. Took a little time for both of those guys to figure out how to coexist in the pick-and-roll offense.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for the Jazz. Good. Beatrice has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Finding the open man every trip down the floor.
It certainly seems like he's doing that, Steve. I mean, it's been a great passing day for him.
Lynn with it, now guarded by Lucas. Here's Garcia. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn. Lynn's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And Clark, as you said, it took some time for this Houston backcourt to learn how to play with each other, but that is the case for any duo. Eventually, Steve, they found a happier medium, and that initiated some great offense between them.
Well, they were much more effective down the stretch last season, Kevin, and I thought it really showed in the way Lynn and Harden kind of played off of each other. So, you know, a lot of teams, they seem to want to have that second option for bringing the ball up or for attacking, and it is very effective to have a couple of guys who can each attack and create.
Lucas kicks to Beatrice. Jazz passing it around. Rush the pass to Beatrice. Dishes it to Hayward. Beatrice inside. Excellent D from Howard.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
Yeah, both teams have really put in a terrific effort down low.
So it's the Jazz now. After Jeremy Lin's miss, Beatrice's shot is off.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim, but too often that's the story for him.
And Garcia kicks to Howard. Rush with the steal.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
Beatrice's shot is off. Garcia goes in. Ripped away. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Rush gets the bucket. Rush has got 8.
Yeah, he put himself in great position to finish that break off, guys.
Yep, right to the rack.
Lynn kicks to Parsons. Passes it to Garcia. Back to Parsons. He dishes it to Howard. Beatrice with the steal. Can't hit. Here's Rush, and it's sent back by Howard. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Utah out in front, up 5.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's Thursday and just one more day.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third.
Really an extraordinary game for Enes Kanter. He's got 8 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
But he's done a better job than the numbers indicate, really. I think he's been really sound defensively, and he's helped his club.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, for the Houston Rockets, a remarkable rebuild process since 2009. They remained around a 500 team, trading for draft picks and young prospects, preserving cap space, and acquiring the elite talents of James Harden and Dwight Howard. They've become, once again, a contender in the West. Kevin, this is a young team poised to make some real noise.
The story of the offseason, no question. Thank you, Doris.
Boy, guys, it was a tremendous all-star season for James Harden a year ago, and LeBron James declared Harden a superstar. No small praise from probably the best player in the world right now. And I think people are coming around to accepting that Harden really is a superstar player. Boy, a sluggish, muddy start to this second half. Still scoreless.
Here's Hayward. That is good. Hayward's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Jazz. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
Maybe that'll ignite them. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geeked.
That's what those alley-oops do, though.
And for Harden, signing a 5-year, $80 million extension with the Rockets last season, the Thunder felt they just couldn't afford to pay him that much with the luxury tax penalties looming ahead.
Well, they already had max players in Westbrook and Durant, so they didn't feel going forward that they could have 3 max guys. So Harden moves on to Houston. Turned out to be an excellent move for the Rockets. He played awfully well last year.
And Utah making a change here. Biedrins is checked in. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Outside, Lin. Ball's knocked loose. Asik dishes to Lin. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's slammed in by Howard.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around in the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
I'll tell you what, that is going to be an alley-oop we'll see on the highlight reel the next few days.
Jazz leading by 5.
Well, you always hear about how loud this Jazz crowd is at home, and trust me, it is loud. They are a big part of why the Jazz have been so tough at home for so long, but the personnel of the Jazz has had something to do with that as well.
Here's Burke. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
Then the pass to Asik. That's good. Asik's got 10 points in the game. And as you said, the Jazz very tough at home as always, Clark, and 30 wins for them in this building last season, which usually, Steve, is enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. 30 home wins and you don't get in. Just shows you how difficult and how tough the Western Conference was.
And it's Houston on the break. Harden's got the ball. Here's Lin. And the rejection by Favors. Hayward kicks to Burks. And Asik with the block. But they'll get another chance. Biedrins' shot is off.
Well defended. And he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Parsons dishes to Lin. The three-pointer is right on target. Lin's got 8.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Utah calls timeout.
Tell you what, you've got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, guys. After losing their franchise players to injury and age back in '09, they've managed to rebuild this team without tanking for lottery picks or going all the way to the bottom of the heap. Very impressive.
It's Williams with the drive. Lucas. Nice ball movement by Utah. The kick out to Williams. Now the feed to Burks. 6 on the shot clock. James Harden with the rebound. And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for draft picks. Steve, all in the hopes of swinging big trades for superstars.
Well, and then when they acquired James Harden, they finally got a cornerstone player. Now all of a sudden you throw in Dwight Howard, you've got another foundational player. So all these years of tinkering and trading and moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together.
Good on the shot. 1:29 left here in the third quarter. Back to Parsons. He passes it to Howard. Feeds it to Beverly. Kicks it to Harden. Pass to Beverly for the lead. Here's Smith. Rebound, Utah. And Hayward gets it to go. And it's a 4-point Jazz lead. There's a minute left to play in the third. Back to Parsons. Makes the lead pass. Howard rejected by Burks. Now here's Lucas, defended by Beverly. Here's Williams, and there's another one for the Jazz.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen much of at the other end of the floor, though.
Rejected by Beverly. Drops in the layup for 2. And it's 6 points for Williams.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Yeah, you look at the numbers, 10 of the last 12 points have come from close range, so I agree.
Harden kicks to Beverly. Back to Harden. That one's off, still out of sync.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender. Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
Well, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Looking to get back on track here. It's rebounded by Hayward.
And they needed that hoop to try to stop this run.
They just seem to keep coming up empty. They've got to slow it down and get a good shot.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits at... Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for Utah.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And something else they've excelled at is their interior defense. A lot of block shots for them tonight.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
It's Harden with the drive, the tray, and Moniunas the basket on the assist by Harden.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but, you know, the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
Kanter is guarded by Howard. Evans' shot is good.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
The finish throws down the breakaway jam.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
Rejected by Evans. Burks kicks to Kanter. He feeds it to Evans. Williams inside. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. 10 points for Williams.
And their field goal percentage continues to climb. They've really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense.
And Hayward gets it to go.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
You know, you look at the flex offense that Utah utilizes, and it requires that players, one, be versatile and multi-skilled, but also that they have good basketball IQs. You need to be able to screen and read defenses effectively. And that's not easy, but it's certainly a good way to play if you've got the right people. Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed. All of the above.
Back to Lynn. Houston moving the ball around. Garcia's shot is good. And Clark, back to that flex offense you were talking about. Some players come into the league with the bad habit of standing around when they don't have the ball. Steve, that's not going to cut it in the flex.
No, it keeps you moving. It keeps the ball going. A lot of screening and cutting. It's a great offense, and it's difficult to cover. But I like what you said. It teaches the young players how to play as well. So deflating for a team. Clark coughing up the ball at one end, and then it turns into immediate points at the other end.
And it's just as much of a boost for the team getting those easy points off the steal.
Burke, the pass to Evans. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Jazz lead by 12.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
Garcia goes in. Lynn fires. And again, the Rockets good for 2. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Here's Hushit. Goes back up. And Harden. And the nice bucket inside. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Houston.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys. And all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding to that, Steve, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for the Rockets. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Tyrone Corbin was going over with his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Here's Harden, and Houston again with the bucket.
Things are really tightening up now, guys. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Not sure where it was before, but better late than never. Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And he does it as well as anyone. Tremendous skill in the air.
Asik with the bucket.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
Here's Lynn, and he uses the glass on the layup. And now it's just a 4-point Jazz lead.
Clearly, he's shaken off that cold shooting performance of the first half.
Burks dishes to Cantor, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
The Jazz making a switch here. Hayward's checked in. Here's Burks. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And it's an 8-point Jazz lead.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and, you know, that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out. Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
Parsons defended by Jefferson. And Parsons gets it to go.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
And here comes Parsons leading the fast break. And the jam by Harden.
Boy, their defense making an impact here late, Kevin.
And straight off the steal, Clark, a perfectly run fast break ends in a slam dunk.
That could be a huge 4-point swing in this game.
He kicks it to Burke. Down low. Here's Cantor. Good D by Howard.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic. Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
The dish to Burks with the shot. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
They can more or less wrap it up right here.
Yeah, as long as they concentrate, get a good look at the basket, make this a smart possession, they should be in good shape. Oh, what a basket, and at the perfect time.
How about the courage and backbone of this guy? Wow.
Andres Biedrins, who's checked in for Utah. Shoots from the high post. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And that shot sucked the life out of the whole building.
Well, that was a big one, Clark. You can hear it.
Yeah, that was a gut punch right there. These fans, oh, man, they're struggling.
Outside for Jefferson. Burke on the pass to Hayward. Dishes it to Biedrich. Here's Lynn. Return to sender. Stuffed it and grabs the run. The one-man step, and so it's Utah who scraped by with the win. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Trey Burke.